What's up everybody, my name is Alex. I'm an online entrepreneur and real estate investor, and in this video I'm going to take you through a step-by-step guide for buying your property via a mortgage in Dubai. So you're probably thinking that Dubai is a super expensive market and it's insanely difficult to get in, and probably there are no other ways than just saving money and putting them aside towards buying your first property. However, there are a lot of options to purchase your property in Dubai, and I've explained the three key main ones in my previous video that you can access through the link on the screen. And today we're going to discuss one of them, which is slightly more complicated than just paying everything in cash. However, getting a mortgage in Dubai is actually really possible, and it requires a bit of steps to get to know and to understand how the process works, and is actually available for not only locals but also for non-residents. So before jumping into the step-by-step process, you have to actually understand and analyze what are the offers in this market, research the banks and what deals they offer, so you can actually save some money even before starting the process. You see, getting a mortgage shouldn't be as complicated, and in fact you're actually making a favor to the bank because you are the one who is lending money from them and they're making money out of you. So obviously, yes, you cannot buy your property and they have to go through all the processes and assess your profile to get you this deal, but they are also making money out of you. So why not research all the banks, all the offers, and only then act and take actions towards securing the deal. So first thing that you should research is the interest rate, and in the UAE there is a rate which is called EIBOR, which is set by the banks, and this is an interbank rate that changes once in 3 months. And after that, you also apply a percentage that is extra for the bank's margin, and only then you can see the final interest rate. So to check the EIBOR and understand its fluctuation across the past few months, you can actually access the central bank's website, and I'll leave a link below this video so you can see exactly what's the trend and where it is heading towards. Finally, some banks also give you fixed interest rates, which are really good when the EIBOR is super high, and this actually happened for the past few months and for the past year even, where the EIBOR rate was around 5%, plus you also add the margin from the bank and the mortgage rate ends up being super expensive. However, with the fixed interest rate, you can benefit from this period that is about 3 to 5 years, and you know exactly that that's the amount that you're paying every single month. And during this period, the EIBOR might decrease, and it happened in the past. So you would end up paying actually less after this fixed payment period would expire. So after you analyze the mortgage offers and also you investigated the interest rate for your deal from different banks, the last thing that you can do is actually start and look into negotiating some complementary offers. And what do I mean by this is that when you get a mortgage, that's a pretty complex process. And the person or the mortgage advisor from the bank who is dealing with you will have to put a lot of time, maybe up to 1 month or even 2 months, to actually help you with all this deal and get his commission. And with that, they're actually super interested to make this deal happen. So you have quite some cards in your hand that will help you to negotiate some extra complementary things, such as the loan pre-approval rate. Some banks might even waive it, and there are other things such as the property insurance, the life insurance. You can look into different providers and see what's the best rate that they can offer to you, and then discuss with your mortgage advisor to understand and have a breakdown of all the costs before taking that extra step and sending your application. If you want to know more about these hidden costs and tricks to actually negotiate up to 90% of all your associated costs, you can contact me via LinkedIn or Instagram at algorithm, and I will be happily answering all your inquiries. And now that you're understanding your deal and you are ready to take the next actions, let's review what are the actual steps to complete your mortgage process. So the first step that you will take is providing all the required documents to either your mortgage advisor or the bank representative so they can assess your borrowing capability and tell you what can you actually borrow. Then they will also ask for your last 6 months salary statement and also a salary certificate if you are employed, or they will ask you for your 6 months income if you have your own company. And in the third case, if you are a non-resident, they will only ask for your past 3 months statement outside of UAE. There are also three criteria that you should keep in mind: that as a resident and UAE expat, you can get up to 80% LTV. As a Emirati, you can get 85%. And as a non-resident, you can actually benefit only up to 60% LTV. In case you are employed, they will also ask for your 6 months payslip. And in the end, there are a lot of other bank forms that you should also complete, but they're mainly detailed forms on your personal information or on your background. So with that, the second step is to actually review, complete, and sign all these required documents by the bank. And I will name quickly all of them that I have personally go through, and it's more or less the same in all the banks. So I got a mortgage request form, and then I got a customer details form, and the third one would be the actual mortgage application form. By allowing the bank to check your credit history, they will understand quickly what's your borrowing capability. But if you want to know in advance, you can actually do it yourself, and it only costs 10 dirhams to do that, and you can just access it through the Al Etihad Bureau website. Finally, one other thing that banks will also require you to do is to open an account with them, because that's the only way that you will be able to see your loan, see what's the equity and what's the remaining loan there, and how you can make the payments. You can also understand what's your interest on those payments and what's the actual principal going towards it. And that's another request from them. After you send all the requested forms, you can actually sit back and relax until the bank comes back to you with the third step, which is receiving the pre-approval of the loan. In other words, it's also called in principle approval of the loan, which means that the bank has gone through all the forms that you have sent and has understood your borrowing capability, and you have now some conditions to meet and that require you to get this loan, so the bank will disperse it to you. One of this is having a respective property valuation that will enable you to meet the LTV requirement that you have to the bank, so the property is valued appropriately, that the bank can actually borrow you the 80%, let's say, if you ask for that. And that leads us to the fourth step into completing your mortgage process, which is the actual property valuation. So what is a property valuation? That's the property's monetary value that is given by some trained specialists in the field who come around and assess your property, look at all other amenities that it has, if it's furnished or unfurnished, and gives a value to this respective property so the bank can actually release the money that you asked from them. They would come in, they would write up a detailed report stating the value of the property, and they will submit all this documentation with some supporting material to the bank so they can assess it and give you the loan. In Dubai, the costs of property valuations are in between 2,600 dirhams to 3,200 dirhams, and that's according to every bank's internal policies. So you should actually investigate it in advance and see what you should expect from every single bank. And again, there are a couple of other ways that you can negotiate this and maybe even waive it. After the property valuation has been completed and you are meeting all the requirements and the bank can offer you this loan, you should be expecting the official mortgage offer letter from them. This makes it the fifth step in our process, and with that you have to review all the mortgage offer details. You can go through your interest rate, check that everything is correct in there, check the tenure of the loan. So if it's in Dubai, it is usually up to 25 years or 300 months, which is the same. And then if you're happy with that, you can sign and send it back to the banker. In order to complete the mortgage application process and to have your loan disbursed to the current owner or to the developer of the property where you want to move or buy, then you have to actually complete a couple of costs and secure those payments before the loan disbursal. There are 4 payments that you have to make before you get this loan approved and your loan disbursed as well. And the first one is the annual property insurance. And then you have the annual life insurance that you usually pay in full, but you can also ask them to pay it by month. You will also have to pay for the bank processing fees, which is 1% of the total loan amount. And secondly, you'll have to pay for the mortgage registration fee, which is usually 0.25% of the loan amount plus VAT 290.80. So after going through all these steps, we are finally approaching the completion of the mortgage application process. And with that, you are actually going to receive the dispersal of your loan and make the payment to the current owner or seller. You will then receive the title deed on your name and on the bank's name as well, since that's a mortgage, so you are tied. And with that, congrats, you can actually go and collect your keys. Hopefully with that, you have a good understanding of the steps that you have to take towards completing your mortgage application process and getting that loan for the home that you want. Should you have any other questions or thoughts, you can reach out to me via the comment section below. Just drop a comment and I will try to answer straight away. And otherwise, you can also reach out on LinkedIn or Instagram, or you can also book a consultation, a private consultation with me, where we will go through the actual steps that you specifically have to complete towards getting your dream home. Until then, I will thank you for your attention, and if you appreciated this content, please leave a thumbs up below and let me know in the comments what you want to see next.